Welcome back to All Stars TV. Counting down to this year's, which is kind of this week's edition of All Stars. It's this coming weekend at the Vindico Arena, 26th, 27th of July, games from 12 noon on each day. I'm pleased to be joined by one of our team captains from the All Stars and its Help for Heroes. It's Melissa Hemming-Bosworth. Full Sunday title, Melissa. How's things with you this evening?
Really good, thank you. Yeah, like you say, it's just around the corner, a few days away now. So really excited to get down to Cardiff and get started.
Yeah, definitely. And for those who haven't seen any of these interviews before, A, where have you been? And B, can you just give us a little about your All Stars journey and as a player and your time as captain with Heroes?
Sure. So I started way back in 2017 as a spectator, came down, saw how much fun everybody was having and how it really is hockey for everybody. It's inclusive for all abilities, whether you're borrowing your mate's skates and coming out on the ice for the first time, or you're an ex-pro coming down just to, lend your name and a hand and some fundraising power. It's a weekend for absolutely every level of ability of skaters and hockey players. So I figured I'd give it a go. Did my first couple of years, desperately trying to get on to Help for Heroes. And then my third year applying, got in, was made an A on my first year. And then following that year, I was named captain. And it's been absolutely fantastic. You get to see a different side of it. So not just from the playing and fundraising side of it, but all the hard work and dedication that the committee actually have to put in throughout the whole year, not just showing up on the weekend and doing your thing on the ice. So it's been really, really great and a nice privilege to be able to see behind the scenes a little bit more about what goes on to make All Stars and get it to where it is every year. Yeah. Like you say, it's my third year now as captain. So this will be my final year. So I'll be getting ready to hand the reins of Help for Heroes over to the next generation of captain for them to pick up where we've got it to and carry it on to its next steps. And I think for me, I set myself out, I guess, really two targets when I took over the captaincy. And that was to just make as much money as possible for the charity, raise as much awareness and really increase the team's social profile and interactions with the charity themselves. So I'm really proud that we're going into this weekend with the most that the team has ever made in a single year before we've even got to the weekend. And, that's all down to the team. It's a collective effort. And we have a great relationship and collaborative online profile now with the charity itself. So I feel like job done.
Yeah, no, definitely sounds good. I mean, we'll talk about the fundraising at the minute because right across the board, it's been off the charts from everybody. But you mentioned there about trying to get into to Help for Heroes, and like a lot of the people involved in All Stars, they have a reason why they have that chosen charity, and like you say, you have a special reason to support Help for Heroes as well.
Yeah. So like many on the team, I either come from or have served in a military capacity. So me personally, I grew up as a military dependent, grew up overseas with my dad in the Air Force. And then later on in life, my eldest brother joined the forces. Unfortunately, his Air Force career was cut short due to an accident at work. It led to the loss of his leg and then a further secondary amputation after that a year later. And it was through the support of Help for Heroes and their rehabilitation program that got him to where he is. And, and it's been a game changer seeing exactly what the charity do, and then quite shocking to learn that they actually don't get any government funding. So everything they do is from the people. And having personally seen a family member go through and been supported and helped by their services, I felt that it was only right that I stepped up and did something to give back.
Yeah, and like I say, the money is a huge part of it, but it's also the awareness, the advocacy, the kind of giving the publicity to these charities. That's a huge part of what All Stars does as well.
Oh, massively. And I think it can be quite difficult at times for some charities with with obviously with politics and things that are going on globally, to feel like that they're still cared about and relevant with the public. I think what people don't see behind the scenes is the work that these charities do is supporting veterans, supporting their families, which is something that Help for Heroes has done more in the past couple of years, as they've expanded their services to the families of current serving personnel and veterans, which just means a bigger budget to be able to carry on those services for free. And like you say, it's just getting the awareness of what these charities do, and just how we, as the general public, even if it's just £1, it doesn't have to be, you know, huge donations every single time, just that regular interaction, communication, sharing their stories, sharing their posts, everything to help get the word out about work they do, then, you know, that's what we're here for.
Yeah, no, 100%. So your team this year then on the ice, that wearing the resplendent and the Help for Heroes jerseys this year. What sort of team you got in terms of newbies and returning players?
Yeah, it's a good mix this year. You know, every year you come in saying, oh, you know, I've got the best team, you know, I'm really happy. And, you know, there's always an element of people that have to drop out, whether it's because of work commitments, family commitments. And, you know, the nice thing about that, even though it's sad to see those people take a step back for a year or leave permanently from All Stars, it's nice then to be able to open the door to a new generation. And like you say, I feel like I've been an advocate for really embracing the hockey is for everybody mentality, and opening the doors up to a younger generation coming through, just to help with the longevity of All Stars in general, and promoting female hockey as well. You know, last year I had quite a split 50-50 female to male ratio on my team. You know, going into this year, I do have some returning players that experienced it for the first time last year, and they loved it so much they got the bug. And as everyone does with All Stars, they're hooked and they're back again. We've got a few new players coming on board as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how they respond and how they react to the All Stars weekend. But they're all coming in knowing people, which is the nice thing for them. So it should be a nice transition and make them feel at home and like a team already. For returning players, again, something that I'm really proud of with this team is that we do have quite a nice percentage of either current serving personnel in the forces or ex-service personnel. So they are people that, even though they may not have experienced the Help for Heroes services firsthand, they know people that do. These guys they've lived it. They're the ones that we do this for. So it's nice to see them on the ice doing their bit and giving back to the charity as well. So yeah, it's a good mix of players, bit of experience, some newbies, and everyone's down for a great weekend.
And like I say, these new people, it's kind of hard. Like a few of these interviews, it's hard to explain what All Stars is until you get somebody along, and then they get it, and then nobody wants to leave it after that. Once you get them involved, isn't it?
It is, and like you say, it's hard to just pinpoint one thing that makes All Stars so addictive. And but I think for me is it that All Stars really does embody that hockey is for everybody, diverse, you know, element of what, you know, that message of what we're trying to get across. And everyone just feels welcome. We're all there for the same reason, whether it's, you know, British Heart Foundation, Help for Heroes, or any of the other charities that are on the ice. Everybody at the end of the day is there for their own cause, their charity, their love for the game. And I think that's what unites us and brings us all together.
Yeah. So we talked at the top there about the fundraising and the records galore from teams, from players, from the event as a whole. New records being set on an almost daily basis. Is any in major events that the heroes have done this year to contribute towards their fundraising goals?
I mean, the guys have really pushed themselves this year. I mean, they do every year. We do set challenges for each other. As part of my captaincy, I've always set what we call the captain's challenge, is by a certain time of the build up to All Stars, in, you know, certain time in the calendar, they have to hit a set target as a team collectively, at which point I'll do something that really puts me out of my comfort zone. So in previous years we've done ice baths, we've done I think I did Snowdon in full kit a previous year as well. This year I decided that I would do an Arctic swimsuit snowboarding challenge. So the guys had to reach a certain target before I went to the Arctic Circle earlier this year, and they did it despite me, I think, and in extremely minus temperatures with whipping winds and snow everywhere. I had to snowboard in a swimsuit down the Finnish slopes. So that was fun, but it got the numbers going, and we made a fantastic start to this year's fundraising efforts. Off the back of that, we've had a couple of people. So Jess Leslie, my returning assistant captain, she took part in a 5-kilometer run in full kit. Which, if that doesn't sound impressive enough, our goalie Ben Mills, who is active serving personnel, decided to do it with her in full goalie kit. So full pads, running along the Gosport coast, doing a 5K in blazing heat. These guys really do give it all blood, sweat and tears. We've got returning players such as Pete and Ozzy Frith from Sheffield. Obviously, everybody knows that they are All Stars royalty. They're back on the same team with us again at Heroes this year, which is awesome because everybody just knows them. They did a Peak District hike to the Super Fortress bomber, the B-29 crash site, and they did that again in full kit during a heat wave. So everybody has really, really pushed themselves this year, physically as well as mentally, and I can't commend them enough. I'm just so proud of the group of players that we have come together, and that they really do give everything for the charity.
Yeah. And it showed on the fundraising total, like you say, teams are setting records. The event has just announced a brand new total for a single event, and it's over 155 now. Don't even know what, I wouldn't like to guess what it's going to be even before puck drop on Saturday. It's been impossible. It's the class of 25, as we call them, is they just have raised the bar continuously throughout the year, and it's been humbling to watch, and more power to everybody who's doing it. So like you say, then it is this weekend. We're heading to Cardiff on Friday for the big meetup. What is it you're looking forward to, particularly this weekend?
I'm looking forward to the team camaraderie. It's something where you don't see each other for a whole year. Our team social media and team chats go on all year round. We are a really inclusive team. We like to include players even when they can't come back for the year. They stay in the group chats, and we really do have a family relationship between us all, even though we are spread all over the country. A couple of those are actually overseas serving, and are able to make it back in time for the tournament. So it's just seeing everybody, I think, for me. And once you get that together on the Friday night, everything else just comes naturally. We were actually really lucky this year. We always talk about it, and it's something that logistically no one ever then makes happen. But a couple of weeks ago, we actually had a charity scrimmage where we had the very first Team Heroes versus series. This year, we invited Team Prostate, and that's present and past players, to come to Nottingham Ice Rink and do a charity scrimmage with us on the Friday night. That was held and hosted by 3 of the players, the Kimbers, Steve, Daddy Kimber, his daughter Sarah, and James Kimber. They all ran that as part of their fundraising, and all the money raised goes to Help for Heroes. And that's the first of what we hope will now be ongoing, a Heroes versus series that we can do every year. And we were able to get the majority of the team together, about 15 players from the current team together. And that's the first time we've been able to do that outside of All Stars. So that's given everybody that little spark now, and the newbies that are joining us for the first time were there as well. So again, they've now met the team, and it's got them really geared up for the weekend.
Yeah, no, it sounds fantastic. So if people are looking at these videos, looking at the social media that's been going on the last few weeks, they're looking for a summer hockey fix before. I know there's fixtures coming out left, right, and centre for leagues starting in the autumn, but this is the real action. We know that this is what people should be taking notice of. So if you were trying to encourage somebody to come down to Cardiff, to bring themselves, bring their pennies, and just have a right old weekend, what would you say to them to encourage them to come along?
Don't second guess it. Just do it. It's like you say, it's just such a fantastic weekend of hockey. It's fun, it's fast, it's exciting, it's funny as well. It's not just we get down there and have a good time. It's generally a funny hockey weekend. Like you say, we get out on the ice, players like myself who don't play very often, and I'll be the first to put my hand up and say I'm not a fantastic hockey player, yet here I am, captain of a charity team. And and you just can't explain it. You just got to get down and see it for yourself. Getting involved with the charities, you then get that feel good fact to yourself. Not only are you watching a sport that you love, but you're giving back, and there's more to it. It's not just about the score on the board, because we all know at the end of the day that just fails in comparison to everything else that we're doing for the charities that weekend. And to be part of it as a spectator, I think that's just as important as what we do on the ice.
Yeah, no, I would echo that. So if everybody's listening, Captain Mel says, get down there.
Be that.
Great catching up, Mel. We'll see you on Friday night.
You will.
Thanks for jumping on All Stars TV, and we'll look forward to seeing you and the heroes in action in Cardiff.
See you this weekend.